stretch workshop for today. We're going to take about 20 minutes, really good full body stretch, get everything opened up, and hopefully in 20 minutes time when this video is done, you're going to be feeling much better than when you initially started. All you're going to need your mat, clear bit of space around you. If you are lucky enough to have one, a yoga block, or if you can get a thick book that is roughly the same size, a couple of inches, it'll help you through a couple of your stretches for today where you need it. We're going to start off just now. I'm going to ask you to come lying down flat on your back. Once you're there, we're not going to start off with any stretches, we're just going to refine our breathing. So deep breaths in and deep breaths out. If you've been in any of the classes with myself before, you'll know what we're talking about. So lying down on our back, to say no stretches to begin with. All I'm going to ask you to do, hands can be by your side or on your stomach. We're going to take a really deep breath in. Fill those lungs up. Hold our breath for a couple of seconds. And a deep breath all the way out. Same again, our deep breath in. Hold your breath when those lungs are full. And breathing out again. Just nice and gentle in our own time, our deep breath. Holding at the top. And everything back out. Just going to go another 2 times through. Deep breath in. Hold. And exhale. Last one, deep breath in for now. Little hold again. And exhale one last time. From here we're just going to make sure our back can go flat on the floor. We're stepping our feet. You should be able to pop that hand underneath your back just now. And we're going to get into that first stretch. Nice and gentle, we're either going to pop our hands on our knees, or if we can, we're wrapping those arms around our knee and our shins and just hugging ourselves in nice and tight. From here we're going to let one leg lengthen, just long its back down the floor, both hands on one knee. I'm just going to squeeze that knee a little bit harder now. Maybe feeling that stretch down around the back of our hip, deep to the back of our thigh. And then a bit of a release to this leg. We're now going to drag the knee across the body using the opposite hand. And we're keeping our shoulders on the floor. There's a bit of a twisted position in our lower back, as well as a stretch outside that hip. Let go of this leg. Briefly going to come back to flat on our back. Before we hit that sequence again on the other side, take our deep breath in. Deep breath out. Once we feel settled, we're going to pull the opposite knee into our chest. Hug it nice and tight just now. Our slight release, we're going to drag our knee across our body. Again, we have our twisted position in the lower back, stretch around that lower back and hip. And we want to keep those shoulders flat on the floor. Let go of our stretch, gently round to flat on our back. Same as last time, let's take that deep breath in. A big exhale. We're going to switch over now. I'm going to ask you to join me over in your hands and your knees. From our hands and our knees, we're going to be a little bit more active just now. So we're going to take our deep breaths in again. We're going to take our deep breath in and ask you to round your back. You're going to try and tilt your pelvis. And then when we breathe out, we're just going to let ourselves relax back down. Join in once you're ready. We're going to go for our deep breath in. And out. Breath in. And out. With each deep breath, really trying to round as much as we can. Curve that spine, tuck that pelvis. And as you exhale, we can relax. I'm just going to take one more for now. Our deep breath in again. We're going to breathe out. We're going to allow our hips to come back towards our heels, and our arms are going to be long off in front just now. Briefly coming out from there, we're going to go straight through with our hips. Hips down to the floor, and we're going for your back bend. This large back bend might be a bit uncomfortable with the straight arms. If it is, we're coming down to our forearms. We're not staying here lazy, we're trying to lift our chest and shoulders up as much as we can. Whichever option works for you. We're on to our back bend just now. draw our hips back again, down to a similar position as last time. This time we're going to thread one arm through between floor and shoulder, and we're going to twist so we can look through this gap as well. So we're going to feel around our upper back as we've twisted through, around towards that shoulder blade and the back of the ribs just now. Draw this arm back to the front. And we're going to take our deep breath in, our exhale, and then we're switching sides. So again, you're going to thread your arm as far through as you can and look through the other way. Take this arm back to the front as well. Again, as we're in this low position, one deep breath in, and deep breath out. Moving back to our hands and our knees just now. We're going to step to our press up position, and then we're going to lift those hips up, pull the head back, move to your down dog. We're trying to get some pressure down through these heels towards the floor just now, so we can stretch our calf and ankle. And this one's not the most comfortable position, so a couple of deep breaths in and out is going to help relax us through our stretch. Drift forward to our press up position. I'm going to drop my left knee on the floor. I'm going to take my right foot up and outside of my hands. The left leg is going to drag back, so we have a stretch on the inside of our hip as well as the front of our thigh. And then on this bent leg at the front, we can feel that stretch in the back of the thigh towards the hip. Now, it might be the case that we're feeling really comfortable with these straight arms, and we've got enough flexibility that we can drop down low to our forearms. It might be the case that that's a little bit too much, so we can use our book or our block, and we can create a little halfway position. So just trying to find whichever is going to be most comfortable for you as we head into our stretch just now. Again, not particularly comfortable one if you're not used to it, so those deep breaths in and those deep breaths out are going to help to relax our muscles and keep us nice and relaxed as we go through our stretch. you're in your low position, I'll ask you to build back up. So we have our straight arm option just now. And once we're back here, we're gently going to take that front leg away. You can lengthen those legs, maybe roll out the knee or the ankle or the hip where you need to. And then once you're ready, I'm briefly going to ask you to come back to that down dog position again, pushing those heels and ankles down towards the floor. Drifting back to our press up position, we're moving to the opposite side. So right knee down, the left foot is up and outside of the hands. Here we want that right leg dragging back, and then we can feel that deep stretch on the back of the left thigh. Still have the option of being high, low, or maybe utilising that block again. But we should be looking to match the same position used on the opposite side. Again, if you find yourself in that low position, I'm going to ask you to build back up to your straight arms. We're going to draw ourselves away. Rolling in and out, open the leg a few times where we find we need to. And once again, I'll ask you to come back to that down dog position. Raise those hips up, pull the head through the shoulders. And this time we're going to add to it. So we're going to bend one knee so we can push the opposite heel down towards the floor a little bit deeper. And we're going to gently pulse to the opposite side. So bend the knee, press the opposite ankle down. We're just getting a brief hold on either side. If you feel it's particularly tender, you can hang out a few extra seconds before you change legs. Let's come back down to hands and knees. That one can be really nice if you find that your ankles get tight when you go out running. One to do before and after. We're now going to come down onto our chest. We're moving into those last couple of stretches for today. And this one's a little bit more coordinated. Our right hand is going to stay nice and close to our chest just now, as if we're going to do a press up. And my left arm is going to stretch towards the wall. From here, we are going to step the right foot towards the left hand, so we can feel the chest and shoulder on the left getting a really deep stretch. If not, you can start to wiggle your hand a little bit higher up, and that chest and shoulder should start to open just now. Again, not the most comfortable stretch, but as we're in that deep position, as well as being in this twisted position. So as we did earlier, we can take our deep breaths in, filling our lungs up, and our deep exhale as well. Gently backing out from this side, rolling back to flat. And then we're switching the opposite side. So the left hand is going to stay nice and close as if I'm going to do a press up just now. I'm going to stretch my right hand out towards the wall, and I'm stepping my left foot over. Out from our stretch. Gently back to those hands and knees. And that's going to do it for today's stretch class. If you maybe want to come back down onto the floor and take those deep breaths in and out like we did at the start, feel free to. Nice way to relax and rebound at the end of your class.